in this short video, I want to talk about the direct object. Up until this point, we have spoken about nouns in the direct object as always being in the accusative case. So whenever you've got a verb and it is directing itself at something, that noun will be in the accusative case. So the accusative case is the case of the direct object. However, there are some verbs in Greek, some verbs, which use other cases as their direct object. So there are certain verbs which will be followed by the genitive or the dative instead of the accusative when they are aiming themselves, I guess you could say, at their direct object. And so, for instance, there are verbs such as verbs of sensation or verbs of emotion or volition, sharing, ruling, separation. These sorts of verbs take their direct object in the genitive case instead of the accusative case. So akuo, I hear, ako, I rule, krateo, I grasp, pleroo, I feel or fulfill. All of these verbs are followed by a genitive, which is going to be used as the direct object. I'll show you some examples. For instance, accusative, which means they hear. We would normally expect after a verb like they hear for our object to be in the accusative case. But notice here that tes phones is in the genitive case. Tes phones, that is a singular genitive. They hear the voice, tes phones. It's not in the accusative. Because akuo is followed by the genitive case. So we wouldn't have they hear of the voice, they hear of the voice. We just have they hear the voice. This is the object of the verb, even though it's in the genitive. Same is true for ekratseisen, which is he grasped, tes exeros autes, he grasped her hand. Tes kairos here is in the genitive, not in the accusative, because the verb kreto, which is grasps, is followed by a genitive. Same for eplerunto, it's also followed by the genitive case. They were filled with joy. There are also verbs which take their direct object in the dative case. So not the accusative, not the genitive, but the dative case. And this occurs with certain verbs of trusting, obeying, serving, worshipping, or thanksgiving, or following. So akalutheo means I follow, apokrinomai, I reply, pistuo, I believe, prosuko, I worship. Akaluthusin, they are following auto, they are following him. This is a singular dative. So we don't have auton, which is what we would normally expect, but instead we have auto in the dative because akalutheo is followed by the dative. Same with apokrinatai, we have autois, which is our plural. And so instead of autus, we have autois, plural dative, autois. We don't have the plural accusative there. Same for the word pistuo, u pistuete moi. Instead of u pistuete me, which is the accusative form, we have moi. You do not believe me, and the moi is in the genitive case. Prosekune, auto. Again, we've got an object in the dative case, instead of in the accusative case, which is what we would normally expect. So these are unique words that are worth being aware of so that you don't get tripped up with your translation. One other thing to mention from this week is that we have another AME paradigm for you to learn. So we know Amy a estin esmen este asin, But we've also got the imperfect form, which is our past tense form of aimee, which we need to memorize, which is aimein, ace, ain, aimen, ate, acen. And this is basically using our middle passive endings that we learnt last week. So aimein, I was, ace, you were, ain, he, she, it was, amen, we were, ate, yous were, and acen, they were. Both of these charts, the aimee, a, estin, esmin, este, acin, and aimein, ace, ain, amen, ate, acen, these are important to memorize, but for this week, I want you to commit to memory the imperfect form of aimee, I was, you were, etc. Aimein, ace, ain, amen, ate, acen.